Hey guys, Monkey's Nuts Come here. Been a little while since I've done a vlog, so figured I'd do one. Yeah, this one's going to be on, I'm going to talk a little bit about my insurance. And mainly the massive deal that I just managed to work out for myself. So yeah, I've just paid for my insurance. Actually, I'll give you a little bit of background info first. It's literally just been my birthday, and it's literally just been 1 year from one of my claims. So obviously, I haven't had a claim within a year, which means that I've got 1 year's no claims now. I know it's a bit of a late signal there, but no one around anyway. Equal pass. So yeah, it's been, so basically I've gone a year older and I've got 1 year's no claims, so that's two things that would work in my favour for my insurance. And obviously all the other things have been put back a year as well, so obviously that would have an effect as well. I'm 24 now, and from my understanding your insurance drops dramatically when you're 25. So I was thinking, right, it's not going to go down massively this year, it's just going to go down probably a bit. The 1 year's no claims might be the biggest help. But I was expecting it to be a certain figure. Now, last year, insurance-wise, I had a letter from my current insurance company to tell me how much I'd actually paid this year. Last year. And it came to just under £5,000, which is a hell of a lot of money. I didn't even think it had got to that much. But yeah, it had. And I'd paid £5,000 last year for my insurance. So I was a bit gobsmacked at that, and what they also included in the letter was a figure for my renewal with the same company, because they normally do that. It auto-renewed, but they would give you the figure, obviously, and you could say that you didn't want to auto-renew. So I had the letter. Oh, that road's closed. Is it actually closed, or have they just said that it's closed? Because some of these aren't. Access for residents. I'm thinking that it might be closed further up. Alright, well, I'm gonna go up there then. Oh, bloody hell, can't see a thing. So yeah, they gave me a figure, and it was just over £3,500 for renewal. So I was thinking, right, I might be able to get it a little bit cheaper than that, so I figured I'd go and have a little look around. Now, before Christmas, I did a couple of quotes, and they all came to about just over £2,500. So I was thinking, right, tree down here. So I was thinking, right, I'm going to save myself about £1,000 here. So I had a figure of how much I needed to save up. So I was busy saving up and stuff like that. And then it went across my mind. I was trying to work out how these systems work, how they do a quote for you, how they actually, where they process it from. Because obviously I was doing my start date of my new policy after my birthday and the my claim date. So in my head I was like, right, well, they'll be doing it from that date, won't they? Because that's when the policy's valid from. But I had a suspicion that they weren't. I had a suspicion that all the prices that were given to me were from the date that I was actually getting the quote. So I was like, right, I'm going to wait a bit until after my birthday and after the claim date, the 1 year's no claims thing, and then I'll do a quote and then see what it comes up to, just out of curiosity. If it's the same price, it's the same price, that's fine, that's fair enough. But if it's lower, then I'll know how do the system in the future. So yeah, I waited until yesterday, went online, did a quote. It came to just under £1.5 grand. So that is a huge jump from the just over 3,600 to be exact. 3,600 for my renewal, all the way down to 1,400. This was with a different company. This wasn't with the same company. And so I went back to my existing policy and my existing insurance company and put this to them. I said, look, I've gone online, I've had this quote. I said that I didn't want to auto renew with you, but if you can meet this quote, oh, scraped my visor. But I said to them, if you can meet this quote, I'd be happy to stay with you. So they were like, yeah, that's fair enough, give us the quote and we'll see what we can do. Gave them the price. They came back after a little bit and they said, yeah, we're no way near gonna get close to that figure. So I was like, oh, that's fair enough, if you can't then. But then it was crossing my mind, how can one company give me a price for £2,000 less than another company? I mean, what do they work these on? I mean, obviously it depends entirely on what the insurance covers, how intensive it is, but I compared them both, and obviously I didn't go for anything special. I just went for, obviously, fully comp. I wouldn't go for anything else than that. And it was quite a leading company that I was going with. I wouldn't say I've always gone for the cheapest. The cheapest are the ones with these telematic boxes, and on principle of them I just don't agree with them. I mean, not that I've got anything to hide, it's just that if anything went wrong on the roads, like if someone pulled out on me and I had to slam on my brakes or something like that, or I don't know, if there was some kind of, you don't know what's going to happen. There could be anything. There could be sort of like, there could be a hit and run driver. Someone hits me and then starts to drive off. Obviously I'm going to go after them. I'm not just going to leave it, because the chances of the police being able to get it are very poor. That's not me having a go at the police or anything, because they do quite a good job, like, at things. But you've got to understand that, especially in the UK, we can't expect everything from the police. To an extent, you have got to do your own kind of investigating in these things, certain situations. It depends entirely what it is. Things on the road, if you want an outcome, the best way is to get as much information as possible. If someone hits you and drives off, that's a hit and run, obviously. Just leaving them to drive off isn't always the answer. It's normally, I mean, they do like, obviously don't put yourself at risk, but if you could follow that person to wherever they were going, to a home or an address, it would be something. Other than that, you've just got a registration plate, which could be fake, it could be blank, it could be anything, that reg plate. It could just, like, not mean anything. So yeah, and obviously it's how insurance companies interpret that information. Obviously, from my perspective, try and use your insurance as little as possible. From my experience, I did the silly thing of using my insurance company as I thought you were meant to. So if I had a bump, if I had a scrape, anything like that, if someone caused damage to my car, I'd make a claim and get the money for it. That's what your insurance company is there to do. No, that's not how it works. You will always make a loss, 100% always make a loss. If someone crashes into you and it's completely their fault, all the evidence points to them, it will still affect your insurance. I've got 2 claims on my name because on my claims, well, they're not against me, but they're claims that I've made against other people. But my insurance company still has to know about them, and they will still affect my insurance. So, yes, I completely disagree with the way that it works. Because if someone bumps into you and you claim on their insurance, why should your insurance know about it? It's got nothing to do with them. And why should your claims go up? Premiums go up because they've gone into you. It shouldn't work like that. Unfortunately, it's that kind of world where it does work like that, and that is how the system works. I mean, a lot of people, I speak to people now that sort of like, if I've seen someone have a bump on the road and I've gone over to, you know, say, oh, I might have it on video, or I've gone over to ask them if they're okay and everything, they're totally shocked when I suggest that they try and sort it without involving the insurance company, and they're like, well, why? They've gone into me. It's not going to cost me a penny. It is. It's going to cost you more than a penny. It's going to cost you a hell of a lot of pennies. Just the way that the system works. It's a nasty world, really, but unfortunately that is how it works. I don't agree with it, but it's obviously out of everyone's control. That's just the system. So anyway, yeah, getting back to my insurance. Yeah, that is how I know how to beat the system. Now, if you've got something coming up, and say you've got a claim that's going to be 1 year's no claims or whatever it is, the best way would be to wait until after that claim date in order to get your quotes for your insurance and everything, because something like that's just gonna it's amazing how much difference it makes. I didn't think it worked like that. I spoke to my dad as well, and he said the same thing. He said he thought it would work from the date that you would be insured from. That's not how it. That's not right. That's not correct. It's a nasty world, really, and especially that kind of money. I mean, I've just saved £2,000 on my insurance. That's a hell of a lot of money. I mean, okay, yeah, I know that I am still fairly young. I've got a few claims. I've got other bits and bobs. And, it is pretty incredible. The one thing I will suggest as well is have a play about with your job. People don't think about this, but your job actually affects your insurance premiums a hell of a lot, an awful lot. I mean, I played around with mine. I haven't lied on mine. I have put down the correct thing, but there's a lot of variance of certain jobs. For example, if you work in sales, if you work in a shop in retail sales, you can play around with an awful lot. You can do all kinds with it. It's always cheaper if you work in a place of in a position of management or that kind of thing. That's what I've learned. If you don't, oh, he was a quick right and left there. If you don't work in a position of management, you can't say that you do, because then you'll end up getting caught out if anything happens. Because when you make a claim, they ask you what your job is, just to confirm the details on your. Bloody hell, he was coming out wide. Yeah, they ask you a couple of details about yourself just to confirm that nothing on your policy's changed. That's what they do in most cases. Whenever you contact your insurance company, they will typically ask you if anything has changed on your policy, and they'll then confirm a couple of details with you. So you have got to be. I wouldn't say. Don't be deceived. Deceive. Is that a word? Deceive? Don't try and deceive them, because you may well get caught out. Just try and be a bit, smart about it. Not lie, but just play around with the system and see what you can wriggle out of it. So yeah, I'm gonna go in there, get a drink. There's a lot of people around here. They've double parked in the middle of the sodding road, haven't they? I was going to go into that shop, but I feel like if I do go into it, I'm going to look like a bit of a fool wearing a helmet. Yeah, I probably am. Oh well, I was only going to get a drink, but it'll wait. Cool, car coming. I'll sneak into this gap behind the Astra. Let this Twingo go past. No, she didn't thank me. Fine. And this Peugeot's waiting for me. There you go. Thanked him and he thanked me back. See, that's how it should work. That really gets... I mean, obviously it shouldn't wind me up, but it does when people... When I'm happy to pull over and other people are happy to pull over and stuff, and that other person that you let through doesn't say thank you. It's just, okay, yeah, maybe that's just me being a bit British, but it's common courtesy, I think. If someone opens the through, you say thank you. If someone opens the door for you, say thank you. Don't just go, just walk past them without saying anything, do you? But, oh well. Ow, visor again. But, yeah, this video might have been a bit boring, but I just thought I'd like to share, because I was so happy with what I'd actually got, the kind of discount that I'd managed to get myself. I was over the moon with it, and well, I was over the moon and shocked about it at the same time, because I didn't think it would be that much, but well, it was. So yeah, don't think there's much else really. I'm gonna try and get more back into vlogs. Because sort of like I enjoy doing these. They're a bit relaxing. I can talk about things, get things off my chest. So yeah, if there's any subjects you'd like me to talk about, I mean, I could go into other things that just crossed my mind. I'm blinded by that sun. Other things that just crossed my mind as to subjects that I could do, but obviously I'm not going to go into that in this one because there's sort of there's nothing here. What am I talking about? The video will go on for too long if I do start to talk about other things. Still 40 here? I think it's 40, yeah. I didn't see any national speed limit sign. Yeah, it's 40. Little sign there. So yeah, that's it really. This has been Monkeys Nuts Com, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.